Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am back. Today is August the 31st, 2022, the last day of August. We're here to talk about Twitter and Elon Musk and the lawsuit that Twitter has against him and how he thinks a whistleblower testimony should give him even more reason as to why he is able to get out of the deal that he made between himself and Twitter. Now, I'm here to also to give you all price predictions according to the chart. I don't focus in on articles. I don't focus on anything else as to justification as to why price is moving a certain way. I just strictly look at the price to see where price is going to go. So if you guys want to join me, hit that like button, share the video, also subscribe here to my channel, because I am here to show you, to teach you that it's very doable for us to be profitable in the stock market without any confusion. So now let's talk about this article. This article came from The Verge real quick. You guys can see that the market currently, or at least Elon Musk, thinks that a whistleblower's testimony gives him even more reasons to dump on the deal that he made with Twitter. So off of this whistleblower's testimony, right, he went ahead and did something regarding, he went ahead and issued out another letter of termination between him and Twitter. Okay. Now, will it be improved? Let's see this article. Okay, so let's look. This article came out August the 30th, 2022. Okay, went through, highlighted a couple of things regarding this article and trying to see how this is going to pay out in Elon's favor, or will it not? So I don't know how to pronounce this individual's last name, Zakos, but his name is Peter. So I'll just say Peter. Now, Peter allegations, if true, demonstrate that Twitter has breached the following provisions of the merger agreement, thereby giving the Musk parties the right to terminate the merger agreement pursuant to its terms as more fully described below. Now, this is where the termination letter is. I'm not going to go into it, but you guys can get this article. You guys can read upon it yourself, all right? But let's take a look at this. Musk, of course, is desperate. This is what The Verge is trying to say. They're trying to say that Elon Musk is desperate to try to get about this Twitter deal. Is that true? Is that right? But he needs to prove to a judge that Twitter violated some aspect of the agreement. Of course, if he can't do that, then he'll have to pay maybe $1 billion in fines, or he'll have to carry out the agreement, which is to buy Twitter. Okay. Now, it's not clear if this whistleblower's testimony gives him more evidence that he can walk away from the agreement. It's not clear if it strengthens his case, because his first termination letter, right, which was filed in the beginning of July, according to this article, made the same accusations. So he hasn't really added any new thing to the letter. He only added a whistleblower's testimony to try to cement what he originally said earlier in his first termination letter. Is that going to be enough to sour the deal? Is it? The new letter right here, the new letter essentially repeats the same charge, just adding Peter's complaint, a complaint, as additional evidence. That's it. So they're at bat again, a second try, and they're looking to see if Peter's accusations or his testimony, if it's going to be enough evidence to actually get about this deal. Now, a law professor, okay, look at this. Law professor Ann Lipton, okay, who analyzed the credibility of Musk's legal case for walking away from the Twitter deal, previously said that Peter's complaint would be something of a wild card, right? So let's just put down our wild card and see if it works. This is what she's saying, a law professor. However, prior to the appearance of this new termination letter, She said Musk's arguments do not appear to be very strong. Now, in response to the second termination letter, this is what Twitter's lawyers have said. They described Musk's case as invalid and wrongful. They repeated Twitter's official response to Peter's complaint. So they even responded to Peter's complaint or his testimony, namely that his allegations are riddled with inconsistencies and inaccuracies and lack important context. Now, that is where the holes are at. If Twitter can prove that what Peter is complaining about has inconsistencies and is not accurate and doesn't have context, then yeah, what Elon is trying to add to his termination letter is not going to fly. We'll see as time goes on, right? Now, let's get back to the stock though, right? Because like I told you, I am focused on the price. So I did a video in Twitter. You guys can see it was on August the 11th. So let me go ahead and go over here real quick. You guys can tell that the market hasn't gone up. All right, I was bullish into Twitter, looking for the market to continually go up. And since I concluded that video, you all can tell that price has gone down. It goes that way. And when you see these type of ideas, when you see this type of thing occur, we all need to say, okay, cool, what's going on? What's really happening into the market and Twitter? Okay. So now let's get to it. I didn't get this last idea right. See, I'll admit to where I get my predictions incorrect. I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to try to delete the video and make it private. I want to show you that I'm a real individual and that at times I don't get it right and neither will you. All right, so let's go ahead and cut this out and let's get right back into position and see where Twitter is going to go now. All right, so that's what, 10%? If we were again on the last trader yesterday, is 11.5%. Now, if we're going to go lower, then we want to go ahead and get out the way, because if we don't, those losses are going to increase. Now, we're about to start a new month tomorrow. So let's go ahead and start out looking at the market in Twitter here on the monthly time frame. Now, I really don't see too much. We all can agree that Twitter's price is going down long term, right? We got that. Now, the idea was for us to see the market in Twitter try to come up a little bit closer to this downtrend line. That was our original presumption. And as we can tell, that's not happening. Do you know why though? Because I'm going to show you why the market did not edge higher to this downtrend line, because it's already here on the chart. Take a look at this. Okay. We all can see that right here around this area in Twitter is where the market in Twitter topped out, right? So if I were to extend this line further to the left, what can you tell where the majority of the trades occur in Twitter, right? Ever since this stock has been trading on the exchange since 2013, where has the majority of the trades occurred? Has it been above the line or has it been below? Okay, it's the first thing we can see. I will say maybe about 75–80% of all the trades occurred in Twitter have been below this horizontal line, which is around $45. That is the reason why Twitter did not run all the way up here to this downtrend line. So the buyers have two things that's going against them. One is this $45 area as restriction, and then two is this downtrend line. All right, so this is Twitter right here on the 2-week time frame, and we all can see it. If price in Twitter doesn't go above $44.45, we're going to see price continue to go down. That's it. We already can see that. Okay, now I really don't think that the market in Twitter is that volatile, meaning that we're going to see a massive move up or a massive move down. I just think that the market is not bullish though. I just think that we may see the market and Twitter just trade sideways until we get some conclusions to the lawsuit that Twitter has filed against Elon. I just think that that's going to be the case. Okay, so now, can we see price go down? Yes, but I don't think that the market is going to completely collapse. Longer term, I do think price is going to continue to fall in Twitter because of the reason that I mentioned already on the chart that we got $44, $45 at restriction, even down here on this downtrend line. Okay, so the only problem is trying to determine how low price is going to go in Twitter. So we might see the market come all the way back down to 36 to even 37.75. Those would be the two areas that I'm looking for the market and Twitter to run to, right? So it would be 37 and then right there around 36. So let me see what we got on the chart in terms of looking at the market going lower in Twitter. So 37, it's not even much. You guys can see it's on around 5%, and we can see the market in Twitter run. But we already know that around $45 is where the buyers got snagged. It's where they couldn't move the market higher. So we're going to hold that there. We know as long as price trades below this line, that price is still trending weak. All right, so we got $37 first. I said my second area is going to be around 36, and that's 8.42%. Now, can we fall below 36? Yeah, we can. Zooming out the chart. Do you think it's probable though? Because it looks like $36 is a very firm area of support / resistance. If we do fall below 36, it's possible we might see a run to 33.50. I'll bring it there, albeit I'm not necessarily looking for the market to fall that low though, but it can. Like I said, anything's possible within the stock market, and everybody buys and sells for a plethora of reasons. So we're going to come in and revamp our idea for Twitter. We're going to go ahead and place some weakness here on the chart. The two price targets that I'm namely looking at is 37 and 36. 33.50 is probable, but I don't see it occurring right now, but I'm going to put it on the chart just as a reference point. All right, so I'm done. Give me your price prediction, your price target in Twitter. Do you think that the termination letter that Elon Musk has submitted, do you think it's going to be approved? What do you think? Is he going to be able to walk away from the deal now since he added more evidence to his original termination letter? Let me know. Make sure you maintain the profitability, and as always, trade different.